Welcome back to another episode of What TF2 Could Have Been. If you don't know, in this series I take a look at cut TF2 content and then theorize about how it would have changed the game had they added it, and actually hold on a second, I have to hide.
I really gotta start locking that thing. Wait, who are you and why are you on my channel?
I'm GermanPeter and I know this looks really bad, but do hear me out. Alright, I got nothing.
Alright, cool, but this is still my channel, so get out.
Come on, beta content is my thing! I was even gonna talk about Unused Meet the Team content when I saw you just made a video on them. And then I thought maybe people would be interested in hearing about some of this stuff?
Ah, damn it, I'm a sucker for unused content. Alright, you can stay for this video.
Yes! Cue the intro!
That's not how it works. It's my channel, so it's my intro.
No, my idea, my intro.
Mine.
Mine!
Mine.
No, it's mine!
Mine! Ha! I win! I should probably stop talking over the intro.
So unprofessional.
What a better way to start this video than with early versions of the title cards. We all know those title cards, always accompanied by the... But it turns out we have early versions of 4 of these. Here we can see prototype versions of Meet the Heavy, Meet the Soldier, Meet the Demo Man, and Meet the Sniper, the first 4 shorts to have come out. By doing a side-by-side comparison, we can see the difference in each, such as the Heavy title card opted for displaying the minigun instead of the stylish bandolier and an image of a spring-loaded boxing glove, instead of the more appropriate firing minigun barrel. Meet the Demo Man didn't have as many changes, but they're still noticeable. The final title card kept the sticky graphic almost identically, but shrunk and moved it upwards, and instead of a single awkwardly placed bottle of Scrumpy, they went for a more tasteful arrangement of Demo's daily afternoon alcohol intake. Meet the Sniper had probably the most drastic design change, while also sticking with the core design of the Meet the Team title cards. The final one is much more dynamic, sporting several jars of Girardi, cigarette butts, and Sniper's iconic rifle with the perspective shadow of a window, as opposed to the temporary one that just had a lazily placed SMG. With 3 of these temporary cards, you can tell the team basically had the style for the title cards down pat, as the overall design is relatively the same, with a few minor tweaks. However, the Meet the Soldier card was completely different. The one found in the beta SFM files show the card much more similar to those used in the second TF2 trailer when the class's functions were introduced. Now this perplexes me. We know that Meet the Heavy, Soldier, and Demo Man all came out before the game, with Heavy being the first one. So could this imply that Meet the Soldier was originally intended to come out first, since the leftover title card sports a completely different and rudimentary design? Or was this just a very early title card style for all the Meet the Team shorts that they just accidentally left in Soldiers?
Okay, you had your fun, let me talk about stuff now. I once made a video about Unused Meet the Medic content, by the way, there were at least 3 versions of it, so if you haven't seen that yet, you should really watch it, nudge nudge wink wink.
Smooth!
No, really, go watch it, because for time reasons I can only refer to what I said in that video. Anyway, I talked about an unused Hawaiian shirt model for Medic, which Genome 505 kindly rigged on his model. Also sombrero, as well as a beard, which is just the camera beard minus the camera. The sombrero and shirt were likely for the version in which Medic returned from a vacation, but the beard? I have no clue. Maybe he was on vacation for a really long time. Aside from a casual medic, there's also a skin for a bloody medic that's different to the one from the final trailer. Do notice how the former is blue and the latter is red. That's probably just because they were from different versions, but it doesn't explain why the blue one also has red pants. I also talked about models I didn't know where they were from, such as Medic External Scene. And from this, you can actually tell that it's the hospital from the final version of Meet the Medic, both of which are taking place on the first blue spawn on Badwater. This hospital, however, has a way more simplistic exterior. Considering the similarities, I assume it's from a version that was closest to the final one. Here are also some pieces of the hospital, which, judging by the wall texture, seem to be the interior of it, specifically the room in which Medic operates on Heavy. Considering there's both a broken and normal model, I assume the wall was gonna be blown up at some point in the video? Or maybe Scout was supposed to come crashing into the room with a full-on explosion. Or it was for the version with the invention of the Medigun, which also featured the same finale and lots of explosions. I don't know. But what I do know is that the healing gel from the same version was referenced in an unused label for the self-aware beauty mark, which would mean that it's swimming in it? Also, this unused Beerstein model from the iteration of Meet the Medic where I was a brewmaster, seriously go watch my video, turned up again in the 2 Cities trailer for MVM. The cast poses for Soldier and Demo from the same version are also found in the files of TF2. And finally, there are also some unused voice lines for the final version of the trailer that we all know and love. The first one was perhaps meant to be a reaction after testing out the heart machine on Heavy.
Ah, Ha! Ha ha!
The second line is a differently paced version of the story that he tells Heavy at the beginning, plus another take of the Archimedes line.
And when the patient woke up, his skeleton was missing, and the doctor was never heard from again! Archimedes! No! It's filthy in there. Birds. Anyway, that's how I lost my medical license.
No! It's filthy in there. Ugh.
Birds.
And this last clip, which features Medic's laughter, was perhaps the punchline to his story before they decided to restructure it. Not much can be said about them though, they're really just different takes. Funnily enough though, the laughter did appear later in the Adult Swim crossover commercial. Thanks for pointing that out, Alaxe. Oh, by the way, and here's the full version of the line that Scout says at the beginning of the video.
Whoa, who the fuck are you?
Let me answer that for you. The Rockets, Scout. It's the Rockets.
Quick, you mentioned Scout, so let me use this as a transition before it's too late.
That's a really forced transition, but okay?
The Meet the Team entries have had quite a lot of unused audio files, and Meet the Scout boasts one of the most extensive pieces of unused audio out of all of them. While there are portions of the script and audio that you can tell made it into the final video, there are many portions of this recording that not only didn't make it in, but make Scout out to be much more aggressive in his interview than how it ended up.
Alright, listen to me very carefully as I talk to you, alright? Are you listening? Okay. Grass grows, birds fly, sun shines, and brother, I hurt people. I'm a force of nature. What do you think about that, huh? No? Nothing? Yeah, that's what I thought. All of a sudden, silence is golden with you, huh? Not so tough with your foot-long sandwich. Well, open wide, because I'm about to wash it down with your teeth. Where am I from? What's it to you? What does it matter? Huh? You wanna know where I'm from? You don't wanna know where I'm from, alright? Because if you were from where I was from, you'd be dead. I don't even know where to start with you. I mean, do you even know who you're talking to? Do you have any idea? Do you have any idea who I am? Any idea at all? Alright, well, let me see if I can clue you in, douchebag, alright? Basically, kind of a big deal, alright? Oh, yeah, is that what you think? Well, maybe you should just shut your mouth. That's what I think. What do you think about that? Because I think that sounds like a pretty damn good idea. Yeah, in fact, let's try that. Let's shut your mouth. No, you know, you're right. I may have crossed the line. I may have crossed the line there. Maybe you could shut it yourself. Maybe I don't need to do it, because it's clear that you're not going to stop me if I tried. Alright?
Aside from probably shortening the overall short and giving time for the scenes with Scout and Heavy fighting, I likely think many of these lines were removed because it made Scout's character way more aggressive than what they probably wanted him to be. Scout's known for being aggressive and egotistical, but also for often being a big wuss, which adds a dynamic to his character. I believe if they went ahead with this version of Scout, he wouldn't have become what he is today, a cocky, egotistical, easily scared, fast boy.
Huh? Did you just call me?
No, not really, actually. I was talking about Scout.
Oh, so while I'm here, mind if I hijack this topic then? Thanks. While we're on the topic of unused sounds, there was also a completely different sound mix from Meet the Demo. I won't show the entire thing, but GermanPeter uploaded it on his channel, so you can watch it there if you like. The link is down below. It's basically the same, though some sounds are in stereo, louder or differently pitched. It all sounds a bit off, though I think I would have gotten used to it, except for that ending. But most importantly, it has the uncensored version of the line that Demo says.
They gotta make it out. I'm a black Scottish cyclops. They got more feckin' sea monsters in the Great Loch Ness than they got the likes of me.
It's pretty interesting to hear what he had to say, though I feel the joke is lost. The censored version is funny because you assume he says all kinds of inappropriate things, which are so bad that they had to bleep out the part entirely. This one, however, is extremely underwhelming in comparison. Fun fact! Valve actually held a contest together with Kritzcast in which people had to figure out what he said. Valve's winner actually came pretty close with his guess.
They got more
fucking monsters in the Loch Ness
than they got the likes of me.
Also, storyboard sketches. But speaking of changing the topic, do you remember one of the most iconic features from Meet the Soldier? That's right, I'm talking about his collection of heads on the fence. Well, originally, they simply used the standard jib models that you can find in the game, which are pretty low res and are also based on the beta class designs. They probably changed them when they wanted to implement the close-up of them at the end, which wouldn't work so well with low quality heads. And while we're talking about beta models, did you know that Meet the Heavy uses his old beta model? You can see this best if you pay attention to his ears. However, the updated version of the trailer and also all the translated ones, such as the German version, all use his high quality model. The trailer also features an earlier version of Dust Bowl, but that's for another day. There's also some images of the interview seen from different angles, one showing off the rim highlighting and the other one showing off a smiling Heavy. Look how happy he is.
Alright, let's move on to Meet the Spy, and oh boy, there's a lot here. To start off, let's listen to some of the scrapped audio recordings. There's only 2 to blast through until we get to the spicier bits, so let's get through this as quickly as possible. First off, we have this weirdly long voice clip of the administrator's lines that seem to be previous unused versions.
A red spy is in the base. Protect the briefcase. Access granted. Intruder alert. Protect the briefcase.
But then there seems to be a minute of complete silence until...
Briefcase room unlocked. Briefcase room unlocked.
Excellent. We're done. Thank you very much.
So not only is a majority of this file silent, but it has a portion of Ellen McLain's recording session in it, since you can clearly hear the voice director telling her what to do and the turning of pages. Recordings like this remaining in game files isn't an unheard thing, so it isn't that surprising of a find. At least the voice director wasn't accidentally left in the game by accident. The other unused audio file seems to be an early rendition of the song that would be the ending jingle for Meet the Spy. The style is very close to how Petit Chauffeur, the final song, is played. However, this one sounds a bit too different for me to label this as an early version of the song, so it was likely just the original tune they had for the end of the short. But let's get into the juicier things, the Polaroids of Scout's mom. These versions, from what I can tell, are all identical to the ones used in the final video, aside from the fact that the borders suggest they were taken with a Polaroid camera. Even though all these images technically made it in, these individual files give us a better look at some of the saucy shots that were taken. For instance, we can actually see part of Spy's sports car more clearly and this random red scooter, which yes, were fully modeled. But like all content, there is always going to be previous versions of it, and with these photographs, we have what I assume were placeholder images because, boy, these don't look right. Yeah, someone had a bit of a field day with Photoshop on these things. I'm not gonna lie, these things are hilarious, and while writing this, I was having a hard time controlling my laughter. Like, who is this lady? Why did they just shove Spy's torso on a stock photo? Can I be the one to share a drink with Spy? These are all questions I need answering, people!
Okay, it's getting a bit weird now, so we gotta wrap this up. And now, let's end this video with an early cut ending to a trailer or trailers that was never released called Face End. It's called this way because the Meet the Team videos were originally called face movies, which were meant to show off the facial animations of the class models. The images you can see right now are concept sketches or mockups of that ending, partially drawn by hand and partially using player models. The order of the images is a bit confusing, but from what I can tell, it goes like this. The entire red team has infiltrated the blue base and stolen their intelligence. Scout is running away with it, then he shows it to Spy before the entire team runs and jumps out of the enemy base, where the ending presumably stopped. Considering that these face movies were supposed to show off the facial features and this ending also features all the classes, it is possible that it was going to be for an actual trailer for the game itself, similar to the first teaser and trailer videos. Furthermore, since Meet the Heavy also heavily featured facial animations, it is possible that this was supposed to come out instead of that. It can't be that old, however, considering that these are the final designs for the mercenaries. In my beta of TF2 Part 2, I talked about the different phases that the class designs went through, and these appear to be pretty much right before release, since Pyro has yellow fingertips for instance. That is, if these even are models, but from what I can tell they are, and they're also the low quality ones. This could either mean that this idea is indeed from right before TF2 was released and before they made the switch to HD models, or they simply used the old models because it's just a mock-up. Also, do note how Engineer is carrying one of his buildings. This could either indicate that this idea is from around the Engineer update, when he was able to haul buildings, or they just had the idea for that long. It's also interesting how the idea of Scout stealing the intel in a trailer also appeared in one of the versions of Meet the Medic. Seriously, go watch my video already. See, didn't I tell you that collaborating with me was a good idea?
No, you basically hijacked my channel and bribed me to do a video with you.
No.
Alright, then tell me why it was such a good idea.
That my videos are pretty great and that people should watch them?
Maybe you should give me something a little bit more substantial than just advertising yourself.
That creating art is an extensive ongoing process with a lot of different iterations of the product caused by changes in opinions and the emergence of new ideas, which ultimately means that to streamline the final design, many concepts have to be left out even if they originally seemed interesting.
Congratulations, here's a cookie for actually properly explaining the video.
Other than that, it was also really cool to work together with you, Skymin.
Now, can I please have control of my channel back?
Well, I guess I'll get going, because as long as there's unused content out there, I will talk about it. I'd like to thank you very much for watching, have a wonderful day, and goodbye.